Here's a few of my thoughts. Guess what my monologue is about?
Harry and Meghan?
It is! How did
shock.
you guess?
What a shock.
Here we go then. While trained observers like Lil Ol' Me scratch their heads wondering what the hell the future Mr. and Mrs. Sussex were doing in the fifth row at a minor movie premiere in Jamaica, I believe I have the answer. Yes, it's what makes the world go round. And it's called money, money, money. It seems strange that Prince Harry and his American wife should choose to schlep all the way to the Caribbean to attend the launch of a film that doubtless will be on Netflix in a week or so, especially since the trip involved amiably rubbing shoulders with Jamaica's anti-British Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who's keen to sever all links with the Commonwealth and the UK. For Harry, a former president of the late Queen's beloved Commonwealth Trust, cozying up to monarchy-hating Holness was at best a strange look. At worst, it was a diplomatic disaster, sending the message that the gruesome twosome from Montecito loved nothing more than to hang out with people who don't like Charles and his royal family. But what the Duke and Duchess of Netflix need much more than approval from millions of Brits is cash. Lots of it. Turns out that Harry and Meghan jetted off to Jamaica in the esteemed company of a guy called Brian Robbins, who just happens to be the chief executive of Paramount Pictures and the Nickelodeon network. But after Spotify unceremoniously cancelled their $20 million contract due to lack of interest, not to mention a lack of content from an unproductive couple who one contemptuous boss dismissed as effing grifters, are the dynamic duo desperately seeking another lucrative deal? Certainly the word is that Netflix are heading towards a parting of the ways amid reports that the streaming giant fears that unless the Montecito moaners are pouring a bucket over Harry's relatives, their commercial potential is minimal. Therefore, could it be that their close relationship with Mr. Robbins, one of Hollywood's biggest players, is all set to come in handy? Certainly, all does not seem well at the Sussexes' company Archwell, where production chief Bennett Levine, hailed for allegedly creating an exciting hive of activity, has just quit after 3 less than exciting years. Meanwhile, what happened to Meghan's reported money-spinning adventures in the wonderful world of influencing? She could earn $1 million for a single post, we were informed. Since then, not a single post. Who would actually be influenced by Meghan? Answers on a postcard, please. Meanwhile, former cable show actress Ms. Markle is apparently thrilled by the idea of returning to her roots with a reunion version of legal drama Suits. I simply can wait. And as for Lost Soul Harry, a ship adrift in a showbiz town that has no place for him, he has announced his next big move. He wants to sue the Daily Mirror again. That's a repeat, isn't it? I'm sure I've seen it already. I mean, he's got to give up this legal stuff, don't you think, JJ?
Yeah, look, legally, we know he has a passion and an obsession with the press, especially the British press. He thinks that we're all bad. He wants to take us down. He thinks we should be regulated differently. And he's got the money to do it, so by all means. If that's what he wants to waste his millions, go for it. But I don't see the problem with him going to Jamaica and being paid to be there, perhaps, and being there to network and make future deals.
Sort of comes across as a little bit desperate, if I might just say so myself. Look, I do think what's particularly interesting is the way that they've tried so desperately to get these various deals. But my question is, I mean, who's going to be watching these new shows? And I liked Suits. I was a big fan of Suits when it came out.
Oh, you were the one who watched it.
I was the one that watched Suits. But actually, everything that's come out since they've been married
Suits was terrible, mate.
Awful. You don't like Suits?
No, you've got terrible taste.
No.
Do you watch Towie as well?
Don't become a TV critic, eh? Yeah, I mean, Suits, it's good that you like it, because the other viewer likes it as well. Both viewers absolutely loved Suits.
Also, I think this fact that Mr. Levine, Bennett Levine, has left the company, it's been overplayed. It was Obi Scobie that said there's a hive of activity around. He's the one who claimed there's a hive of activity and this person was there. But this person's a nobody in Hollywood. They didn't have... Their credits on IMDb are literally the 3 things they've done since being with Meghan and Harry. it's no big loss for them.
Can I make a prediction? I
Yes, you
think
can.
Meghan is going to scrap the social media sort of influencing stuff and actually go onto TikTok. So we're going to see her desperately dancing on TikTok.
You see, that's a fun prediction to make, and it was very much in the air several months ago when the papers were full of it. She's moving on to social media, influencing $1 million a post.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit for the money she can earn. Since then, as I just said, not a single post. So but JJ, I respect her for that. She probably doesn't want to get involved in the rather sordid world of influencing.
Yeah, but I think she will end up relaunching, if not the TIG, then something similar to Goop, like Gwyneth Paltrow
What's
has
the
done.
TIG mean? Why is it called the
I don't
TIG?
know I don't know why it's called the TIG,
It's
actually.
a stupid name. Get a new name.
Either way,
I mean,
I think
really.
she'll make some money from that.
Now,
on the side.
listen, as you know, we have a great American audience. Welcome, everyone, from the greatest country on the face of the earth. Alongside Britain, I've got to say that, we live. You guys in America and us guys in... We guys, I should say. That's grammatically correct. Here in Britain, we live in the two greatest countries on the face of the earth. And what our American audience want to know from you, JJ, is why do you keep supporting the Montecito gruesome twosome?
Well, speaking to our gun-toting American viewers, all I do is say what I genuinely believe, and I go on the side of balance. That's it.
Yeah.
The problem with these Americans, right? Since you asked,
Well,
doing it
don't
again.
insult
the
them.
problem with these Americans is that they are spoon-fed propaganda, and they eat it up. They eat it up. They eat it up.
Yeah.
And that's it. So they've been told, "Oh, Harry and Meghan are terrible people."
Whereas we in Britain are brilliant, and we never fall for anything
well,
like
we're
that.
balanced.
Don't listen to what he's saying, my
so
American
critical.
audience. I love you. Why do you keep pouring a bucket of piss all over our American audience? Seriously.
Again, I give the
Oh,
balance,
God.
Kevin. I'm just saying to the Americans what most of the world think about them.
It's not true.
They're dumb.
JJ, it's not
What
true.
are you talking
They're
about,
not
dumb?
true.
Gun-toting.
They are not.
Yeehaw!
Let me tell you.
I just think
Peggy
at
Sue.
I
least-
know more
Peggy
about
Sue.
America than you do.
Most of them got diabetes.
the one thing about Americans is they are far, far more politically engaged than we are. They're far more socially
And
aware than we are.
stand
It's
up for
absolutely
freedom.
unfair.
They're more obese than we are. Yeah, the list
Well, I
goes
don't
on.
know about that.
The diabetes is through the roof.
Look at obesity rates in this country. One thing I will say about Americans is they know how to stand up for freedom. They will not
Oh yeah,
take
the
any
insurrection.
of the crap
The
that we
insurrection
get
was a great
here.
idea, wasn't it? Yeah, real good. Great, America.
They know
land
how
of democracy.
They
Do
know
me
how
a
to
favour.
fight for their freedoms, and they respect it.
Let me have a I'm going to have a think about your attitude towards America and Americans. Let me just process this for a second. Yeah, come on. F*** you. I mean, seriously. Seriously. They're a great nation of great
Oh my
people.
To be fair, not every American is fat, overweight, obese, carrying diabetes, carrying guns.
Sorry, that's fat-phobic?
That is not every American. That's just about 60% of.
Off. At least they can afford a jacket. Right? And the house and anything. They're richer than you. You're just jealous. Don't listen to a word he says, all of you people in America, or for that matter, all you people in Britain as well. No one listen to JJ. It is time for a bad ad.
Bending over to put your shoes on is a back-breaking chore. One wrong step, you could end up on the floor. And trying to get them off can hurt even more. Well, now there's Shoe-Dini, the world's first shoe horn that lets you get your shoes on and off with ease. No more wrinkled clothes trying to get your shoes on. No more scuffing and damaging your shoes trying to get them off. Shoe-Dini is perfect for anyone with arthritis or back pain, especially those with limited mobility. Plus, the grip clip lets you pick up your shoes off the floor without bending over. So stop bending and struggling with your shoes every day and get them on and off the easy way. Get Shoe-Dini right this second.
Those people, by the way, they were all wearing really shit shoes. So I don't know why anyone would want to put them on anyway. But as someone who, has trouble bending over, I think it's quite a good idea.
It's a great idea.
you think?
No,
You don't know.
I
You're
don't
young.
think
You don't know about not being able to bend over.
I'm quite. Well, I was about to say I'm quite good at bending over, but what I didn't
Oi,
say
oi.
is that
Where are we going on this show?
Good grief.
It's Carry On. What just happened? We're missing. You know what? Carry On films, right? The main comedy instrument, they revolve around the misinterpretation of the word "it." So if anyone says, "What are you doing?" I'm just about about to do it. Ooh! Anyway, enough of all that crap. Let's go on to some mean tweets. I gather our American friends have been tweeting in about you with accurate reflections on what a you are.
Well, they have been. I'm surprised that I had to type. It's fantastic.
Piss off with
well done. So here's the first one. JJ just needs to be nice and respectful to the American audience.
Yes.
That's about as nice and polite as these tweets get. It only gets worse from there.
I agree.
Kevin, surely you are smart enough. He's not smart. He's a idiot. Surely you are smart enough to find someone with more class than America bashing JJ to join you on your panel. He is insufferable.
Well, I think I am smart enough to get rid of you, so you're sacked. We got any more?
Yep, no, we've got one.
Oh, my God.
JJ, I am an American, and I am being polite in calling you not so smart. I could easily say something else. I rarely agree with you. The only good taste I've seen in the past few weeks is your pink jacket. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that pink jacket.
Which you've clearly lost.
Where is the pink jacket?
It's upstairs in my wardrobe. Yeah.
Oh, it's in my wardrobe.
In a wardrobe with one jacket.
One more. Watching from America, and I will not continue if that insults us like he's allowed to. He has the gall to say anyone is classless, and then a mean face, like an angry face emoji.
Well, keep on watching because I'm going to put him in his place. You know where I stand on all this. And it's just not right to have a go at all of America. In fact, any of America.
You just said how you can't bend over because of your back, but you seem to bend over and kiss Americans' asses every weekend here, don't you?
Very good. Yeah, really good. Brilliant. Have you got some mean tweets?
So I recently had an interesting spat with an eco-warrior lefty journalist on The Guardian. And
No.
yes. And after that, I had many of his followers try and attack me, which was particularly interesting. So we had Reem Ibrahim. Give me a moment.
Yeah, Reem, it's getting on a bit, you know. And what did this Guardian
So
lefty
these guys,
Reem,
all
did he
of
say?
his little followers saying Reem Ibrahim would give you a cigarette for a sore throat, which, as an advocate,
Strange
of,
thing to say.
as an advocate of individual liberty, I certainly would. Reem Ibrahim is not interesting or capable. She's a moron.
So how long have you been going out with him? That's a strange thing. What was that thing that would give you a cigarette for a sore throat?
Yeah.
Is it just me? I've never heard of that before, have you? As a phrase?
I suspect what they are trying to say is that because I always, that I'm thick, that I'm stupid.
But it's funny, because if you smoke enough cigarettes, it actually numbs your throat.
Well,
so...
can I just say...
Well, that's a very good technical point there.
I actually think my throat is better after I've had a cigarette.
Well, talking of cigarettes, it's time for a smoke break. It's ad time. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Oh, there you are. Welcome back to What Just Happened, an absolutely astonishingly brilliant programme. Still with JJ, jacketless Anisiobi, and the great Reem Ibrahim from the IEA. That's the Institute of Economic Affairs.
It is indeed.
Very posh. Here are some of my thoughts, so you'll never guess who this is on. Gary Lineker.
Oh, boy.
Here's how it goes now. Gary Lineker glories in his image as the social media bad boy, posts another provocative tweet that many might say abuses his position as the BBC's top sports presenter, and the weaklings who mismanage the state broadcaster do the square root of sod all about it. Feeble in the extreme, the massed ranks of broadcasting houses, spineless suits, just let him get away with it. Pathetic. The former footballer's latest deliberate hand grenade was to like a tweet defending Labour MP Kate Osamor despite her blatantly anti-Semitic comparison between her unfounded claim of Israeli genocide in Gaza and the Holocaust. Amid continued justified fears of Jew hate among Labour's militants, Keir Starmer was right to immediately take the whip away from Miss Osama. But when some idiot tweeted that this was insane, Lineker swiftly agreed. So now the match of the day host supports anti-Semitism, Or doesn't Saint Gary really care what he puts out there anymore? An obsessive virtue signaller, Lineker sees himself as a scion of the left. If that's what makes him happy, fine. But more than a standard bearer for North London Guardian reading radicalism, he's a £1.3 million a year star on the publicly funded BBC. Every time he fires another of his social media missives, he causes pain and problems for his exasperated employers, whose initially strong stance has dissolved into laughable obsequiousness. Last March, when Gary gormlessly compared the government's migrant crisis rhetoric to the language of the Nazis in 1930s Germany, the BBC's Director General Tim Davie suspended him. So far, so good. But within a week, he was back, and the BBC introduced a whole new set of social media rules, which for the first time allowed non-news staff to state their personal opinions in public. All very sensible, tweeted Lineker before resuming business as usual, poking his bosses with a pointed stick. Groupthink Gaza retweeted a Palestinian call for the complete banning of Israel from all international sporting events. Later, the renowned goal hanger complained to his favourite newspaper, yeah, that's right, The Guardian, that he received death threats. Well, wind your neck in and stay stum then. It's not about me, he whined. I'm not the victim here. Agreed, you are not the victim. But admit it, it is all about you. You like being in the papers. You like everyone talking about you. And you absolutely love all those ludicrous lefties deluding themselves that you're their hero. FYI, mate, keyboard warriors are never heroes. Meanwhile, just a reminder of the BBC social media rules brought in especially for Mr. Lineker. Here they are in full. Everyone working at the BBC must be very careful about what they post on Twitter, except for Gary Lineker, who can post what the hell he likes. And finally, memo to Weedy DG, Tim Davie. He's making you look like a mug. If only for your own dignity. Do something, and do it now. I mean, it is pathetic, isn't it, Reem, the way they just keep folding into this guy?
It's so pathetic. And my primary problem with this entire situation is that Gary Lineker gets away with it every single time.
That's my point.
On the public money, on public dole. So the primary problem here is he can tweet incessantly about all of his leftist nonsense. But actually, the primary problem here is that he is being paid for by us.
Yeah. But he was suspended when he said the thing about Nazi Germany, so he didn't get away with it, did he?
Yeah,
he's
well,
still
yeah,
got
he
a
did.
job.
He was suspended.
He's still being paid £1.3 million.
So you're saying he should be fired then, not suspended?
Well, yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
Ah, the pennies dropped.
No, I don't think it should. I think it's okay to compare the language the government was using to Nazi Germany.
That's not the discussion.
It's not the discussion, fine.
That isn't the discussion. The
Fine.
discussion is, why is he alone in the BBC allowed to make these tweets? Now, this last transgression, if I can put it this way, supporting someone who said the suspension of the whip from Kate Osamor was insane. Mm-hmm. What she tweeted on the eve of Holocaust Memorial Day was anti-Semitic. No, there's no discussion about that. He agreed it was insane to take the whip away from her, so he's adopting an anti-Semitic stance. What the hell's he playing at?
But I'll tell you why he gets away with it, because he's left-wing. No way. There's no way that a right-wing journalist or a right-wing presenter would ever get away with tweeting anything remotely political.
I think you've got a good point there,
I think people would argue that what Kate Osamor said wasn't anti-Semitic. I think it was poorly timed.
No.
I think you
can't compare the Holocaust.
But to compare the Holocaust to something else doesn't make it anti-Semitic.
Well, it does.
No, I don't
Absolutely,
think it doesn't.
technically.
No,
well, that
it
isn't
does.
what the Jewish community said.
But that might not be what the Jewish community say. But by the letter of the law, that is not to make.
If I compare people being killed in Gaza, and by the way, there's no verdict of it being genocide whatsoever, so it's merely her making this up.
Yeah.
In her view, it's genocide. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean it is genocide.
Yeah.
To compare the killing of, shall we say, 20,000 people in Gaza with the gassing of 6 million Jews, that's anti-Semitic.
No, it's not anti-Semitic.
It's disgusting. I'll tell you that.
It's ill-advised.
It's disgusting.
It's ill-advised, and that MP should definitely not have done it. And I think it's right they took the whip away from her. But I don't think it's anti-Semitic.
Well, why did
got
they
to
take
say
the whip
I do-
away from her?
Because
Because
Because it's
poorly worded.
anti-Semitic.
No,
No, it's poorly worded.
extremely
Look,
insensitive.
It's also anti-Semitic.
No, it's not. But
I
that's a different
do.
discussion.
I actually think JJ is right on this. I do think that it was incredibly poorly worded. Some members of the Jewish community might find it to be anti-Semitic
Well,
itself.
I think all of them did.
But when we've got a humanitarian crisis of upwards of 2.5 million people that are facing this crisis, I think it's very difficult to make, and it's very easy, to make historical comparisons. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that Gary Lineker gets away with talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's the primary point here. Whatever your view on the situation is, Gary Lineker shouldn't be allowed to express a political
Is the main
opinion.
rule from the Beeb that he's not supposed to criticise the government, right? He can.
No. It's that he
not
should
to make
be,
any political statements whatsoever.
because he's a sports presenter, and not a news journalist, then he's given some right to express his opinions in public. I happen to agree with that, actually. I don't know, just because you work for the state broadcaster, why can't you say what you think?
Well, I think we shouldn't have a state broadcaster in the first place.
But he's allowed to disagree with the government, which he does all the time. What he does, every time he tweets, he inflicts pain, agony and problems on his bosses. And as Reem said earlier, what my monologue was supposed to be about, you clearly didn't get the point. But then again, nearly everything goes over your dim head, doesn't it? Moron. It was supposed to be the fact that the bosses, that what the BBC need in terms of Lineker is leadership, and he's definitely, as I say, he's poking them with a sharp stick.
I think this is his last season.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think he wants to leave, and he's got other things and other pies. He doesn't want to stay at the BBC. He's going out in a blaze. Yeah. But you're right. Tim Davie looks like an absolute coward.
Yeah, terrible leadership.
Spineless.
Because the last time, remember when he tweeted that Israel should be banned from all international sporting events, which I thought was a bit OTT. The BBC said nothing. And now he's done it again. They've said nothing.
Look how angry he's got.
He's very angry.
He's mad as hell.
Water everywhere. And listen, it's time for a bad ad.
Have you ever seen a beautiful, well-dressed woman dancing and getting down on the dance floor? Amazing, isn't it? Excuse me, miss. Where did you get this fabulous outfit from?
Well,
They always say they got it from Divine Rags at Wolf Chase Mall. Beautiful women. I'm fascinated always. I'm fascinated more by a well-dressed woman. Do you shop at Divine Rags? Maybe you too might fascinate me.
Well, that's a very modern advert,
So
isn't it?
creepy.
Look, I don't want to attack our American viewers because I love our American viewers, but
That's what they're for.
that's Wolf Chase Mall, Tennessee, USA.
Divine Rags.
Divine Rags.
That's what they're actually called.
I don't
They're
like that
actually called-
one bit.
Rags.
They're
No.
not the-
Also,
They're not
why do-
divine, mate.
Why do we think that using that guy and his incredibly creepy voice is going to somehow be attractive?
Well, I
to female
think he's the
viewers?
creator of Divine Rags. He's the
God.
boss.
This seems like a weird fetish.
Yeah, next time you do an advert, Divine Rags, man, why don't you get some girls who aren't taller than you? Like a very short person. Listen, that was an unusual episode. Actually, it's the same as every week.
Organised
Mayhem on telly. Thank you very much to the jacketless JJ Anisiobi. Thanks, mate. And brilliant to have you on board, Reem Ibrahim. We will be back next week for the same kind of crap. Same time, same place on talkTV. What just happened? What just happened?